Okay, good morning, colleagues. I hope you're all well and that you had a good night. Welcome to this call. Apologies for keeping those that joined right on time, as we had tried to give some minutes to other members to join the call. Yes. So this brief meeting today is really for us to take you through um, the system that has been undergoing development from when we informed you at our last AGM that we're developing a real Sacco system that will, among many things, improve the turnaround time and essentially eliminate the manual processes that have been really attached to loan applications, uh, trying to apply for savings withdrawals, top-ups, and many others. So today, we are happy to have the vendor with us, Mr. Emmanuel Mogova, who is going to take us through what they have done so far. Yes, and without preempting the presentation, I'll right away hand over to Emma. Although we have started 10 minutes late, we'll try to still keep it within the allocated time we had communicated. The meeting will still have to end within the stipulated time, that is at 10 a.m. Thank you all. Over to you, Emmanuel.
All right. Thank you, Adrian, for the introduction. Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all to this meeting. My name is Emmanuel Magova. I've been the development consultant on this project. On the call, I have my colleague Maria Nafka, who has been application consultant. She has been in charge of setting up the application to ensure that it is in good state. To start with, I've shared my screen. The application is online, meaning that you'll be in position to access it wherever you are, as long as you have an internet connection. And it can be accessed by simply typing royalinvestmentsacco.com. This will be the login page. You just type royalinvestmentsacco.com and it will take you to this page. Now, for purposes of this presentation, we created a test environment, given that we are going to try out a few things. And the test environment for it, you have to type the word test.royalinvestmentsacco.com, and then it will take you to the test environment, and it also indicates that this is a test environment. Now we have the login page, meaning that in this application, you have to enter username and password for you to be authenticated. In case someone forgets their password, we have an option of forgot my password. For new members who want to register accounts, they can quickly register here. And then we also have the Sacco documentation. So if I click on the documentation, we've managed to document everything that we've developed here. And basically, this will give you some quick basics about the system. I'll just take off like 2 minutes to quickly go through this documentation. It tells you about the system having a real-time component, meaning that each time something is done by the admin, it is updated in real time. We don't wait at the end of the day, and your statements will also be updated in real time. Then the system also manages some small financials. So it is not only for Sacco, but also if we have some basic financial accounting, the system can manage that. The system has roles, meaning that if you're an admin, you have access to a lot of things, whereas if you're a member, you also have access to limited functionality just for your member profile. So the installation, the system is cloud, so you don't need to do any installation on your device. Once you put in the login, you access the system. We have an option of registering an account. We shall go through this, where each one of you will maybe at a later stage try to register for an account. So once you register an account, the system gives you your member number, which then you use to log in and then update your registration details. The registration details include the additional information that are not on that registration form, as we shall see. So this is just a sample of how the member profile looks like. A member can deposit, do loans, loan top-ups, loan payoffs, withdrawals, and also exits. We shall have a practical session to see this. Then on the other side, we have the administrators. For the administrators, for them, they have a view of all the members and everything that is happening in the system. So for them, they have a wider view of the application. Whereas for the members, basically, they only see what relates to their account. Then the system has a navigation bar that can be used to navigate through the different functionalities. And then under the navigation bar, we have the menu details, which ideally show you the exact menu items that you can do, as you can see here. Then the system, as its structure, we have what we call list pages. These basically show information in a list format. For example, an administrator will be in position to see the chart of accounts and the different accounts that relate to the Sacco. The system has a feature of searching. If you are under the list view, you can search. And as you search, the system will filter out the information that you are searching for. Now, if you need to edit information, we have what we call a card page. That card page can be accessed by clicking New or this edit button at the list, which looks like a pencil. So once you click on that, you get a card page. And basically what happens on this card page is that you can update more information, as you can see here. And we shall practically also go through that. The system has the capability of sending some reports to Word, Excel, and PDF. In this system, you can still sort information by clicking on any of the column names. The system can help you sort information. As we can see, we have things to do with the setup of the system. This is some of the one-time setups that we do. For example, we are informed that the share capital is 20,000, the minimum savings are 50,000. So we have an area which is only accessible by the admin to have all these set up, meaning that each someone is enrolled or registers for membership, they'll be charged a share amount of 20,000, and the admin won't need to enter that because we already have a Sacco setup where that information is defined. Then these accounting periods are to do with the administrator. We shall have a detailed one-on-one discussion with the administrator on how this works. Then the system has what we call the general ledger, where we have the chart of accounts, which will give you a quick access to the different accounts, general ledger accounts, and the balances that we have in the system. We shall see how we register and post journals. This is basically for the admin. Then, and also reviewing journals. Then for the members, we shall go through the process of creating an account where we shall also update our account details. The administrator has a provision of uploading standing orders from the bank. Still, as a member, you've been positioned to have access to the self-service portal where you do things like updating your member details. You enter the member information, upload a picture if you have, signature, and others. Then after doing those, you can send a notification to the administrator that you want to be registered as a member. And once the administrator updates that, the share contribution will be obtained from your account, and then you get registered as a member. So in the system, we also managed to put some of your sample documents that you provided us. For example, the member application form. Once you enter all the information, that form can be printed out from the system. So we shall see this process of when the Sacco administrator confirms the member, there is a journal entry created which registers the shares, as we see down here. We shall go through the process of depositing, sending a deposit for approval, and so on. We shall also see the loan application process, how a member can apply for a loan, And the key thing about loan is that we are given what we call loan limits, whereby based on your savings, for example, if you have less than 50 million, you get 2 times your savings, but you cannot exceed a cap of 5 million. However, with that, also, if your savings are below 5 million, you cannot exceed 12 months of repayment, and your minimum savings per month must be 50,000. So we've configured the system to look at all these checks. And one thing is that if some of these things change in the future, the admin has a provision of coming here, and then they specify another bracket as per the change that has happened. So we have here a process of capturing the loan. It is pretty straightforward. You enter the amount, the installments, and the purpose of the loan. The system makes the checks, and then you send it for approval. You can also have a look at your loan calculator, which will show you the amortization schedule of the loan. So each request that you enter, you send it for approval. The admin can either approve or reject. Once they approve, that loan is processed and then dispersed to you. We have different loan repayments here. We shall also see them. And then we also have a savings statement that a member can download on their own to see their current savings. We also have a loan statement that will show you the different loans. The system has the provision of also doing loan top-ups. We are going to practically see this. And also the loan payoffs. You simply enter a payoff amount and then send it for approval. As you do this, the system on your profile, it will update your news feed, showing you how much you are eligible for and in which period. And in case you want to pay off your loan ahead of your schedule, how much can you pay to fully clear your loan? The system also has a provision of requesting for withdrawals. In case you need an amount, you just enter how much you need, and while you are withdrawing, send that for approval. So that is a brief about the documentation. So let's now go into the practical bit and see how things work. So I'll come back here. I will start by assuming that I'm a new member and I want to register in the Sacco. So I will simply click here, register for a new membership. It will take me to the registration page where I can enter my first name, last name. I enter my email, and then I also enter my password that I need to use. So the system has some validations in that the password must be uppercase, lowercase, and some numbers. So in case you have any terms that you need the member to view, we can also have them here so that the member reads the terms, they agree, and then they register. So once somebody registers, what the system will do, it will assign them a member number, and this member number is also emailed to the member based on the email address that they've entered. This will be the number that the member will use to log into the application. So once I copy that member number and I enter it there, then I also put my default password that I set. And I click sign in. I'll be in position to log in as a new member. So it will show me that my account was created and this is my member number. So as you can see, my account I have no loans, no shares, no member savings. And they're telling me that I can start saving to increase my loan limit. So for starters, I start by updating my registration details. So I click here. So I can enter my middle name, my job title. I can say that I'm a software developer. So member type, this will be determined by the Sacco admin. The member types we have executive and general. And why this is determined by the Sacco admin, it is because it determines how whether you pay admin fees and also the interest rate that you'll be paying on the loan. So we don't want the member to determine that. I can enter my district, maybe Wakiso. Then active, then I can select which DFCU branch. So these are different branches that we have. The admin can add more branches from their side. I will say maybe William Street. I can enter my mobile number. I can enter my WhatsApp number. Then I can enter my date of birth. I will just enter some fictitious date of birth. I can select my gender. I can put my national ID number. I can put the person who convinced me to enter the Sacco. So some of these things I had entered them while preparing for this presentation. So that's why the system is auto suggesting. I can enter my next of kin, relationship. I can enter the next of kin address. I can enter their mobile number. I can enter my beneficiaries. I will enter the same person as my beneficiary. Direction, their address. So some of these things, we got them from the member form you gave us. The posting group for it to be employees. Then I can enter my bank details where I want my money to go in case I apply for a loan. The SAC admin will be using these bank details to wire that amount to my bank account. Then the monthly contribution that I'm willing to contribute every month, I can also enter it there. I'm willing to give out 100,000. Do I need to change password on next login? No. So this is also done by the administrator in case this account will be sponsored by another account. The admin will be in position to select this, but as a member, I cannot select that. And I can also enter the date of joining. I'll just put today's date, or I can just type 2024, and then I can save this. So once I save this, this information will be saved. I have a provision of uploading my picture. I'll just upload just a sample picture. This is not how I look like, but I've just uploaded the sample picture. Then I can also upload my signature such that on the different transactions, I have my signature stamped. Then one of the things is that we need, given that this money, you have to place a standing order. So one of the requirements is that you have also to upload a standing order in form of a PDF that will tell the administrator how you are planning to contribute that amount that you've specified here. So once you upload a standing order, you have a provision of clicking on view standing order, and the system will take you to a PDF form that shows the standing order that you've uploaded. So this is just a sample document that I've uploaded. I can click the back action here to go back. Once I do that, I can click on register as a member, and ideally what this will do will send an email notification to the admin telling them that somebody requests for a member application. I'll open my emails, and then we shall see those notifications. Let me just wait for them. But as we wait, let me go to now the admin side and we see what happens. Now here, when the admin logs in, who is Jude, after getting the email notification, they will see that there is a member who has tried to log in. So once they go on the member side, they'll be in position to see all the members. I can see Emmanuel Magoba here. And what the administrator will do is that they will look through the different details this person has entered. They can also view the standing order here. And then once everything is okay, they can confirm this member. Confirming this member for the admin side, it will create a journal entry which will allow the administrator to, it is booking like the 20 amount, which will be as share contribution for this person. And once I post this, that person will be registered as a member. So if I go back to my application here as a member and I look at my member application form, I will see that now this form has been entered in very well in the system, and I also have the declaration here. So that is the process of applying for a member. Now, the second process that we are going to go through is the deposits. Now, in case someone deposits money to the SAC account, without that standing order, maybe they get some money and they deposit. An admin is in position, rather the member is in position to come here under deposits. I know currently they notify Jude that I've deposited some money on the account. Please look there and see. So instead of notifying Jude through maybe a phone call, you'll be notifying him through the system by coming here. You click new. You enter the amount that you've deposited. Let me say I've deposited 3 million. And then it defers to today's date when I'm deposited this money, and then I click on save. After clicking on save, I will edit this deposit, and then I attach proof of the deposit. This can be like a scanned slip or a picture. If you've done an EFT, you take a screenshot, then you upload it on the system. So this is my sample screenshot. And after uploading it, I can now send for approval. Once I click send for approval, my 3 million, actually here I can also see that it has been sent for approval. Right now, I configured myself to be the approver, and it is opened. That is open, meaning that the approver has not yet approved it. So if I log in as my approver here, this is the other side of the administrator. I can see that I have one request pending approval, one request to approve. Once I click here on more, I'm in position to view the document that I need to approve. I look at, this is the person, it is pending approval. I look at the deposit they've put. I can click on it to see it. And once everything is okay, I can now go back and approve this record. In case I don't want to approve, I can reject, and then I put the rejection comment, which will also notify the other person who requested. So for this, I will approve, and once I approve, it creates for me what we call a journal entry. And in accounting, it will be debiting the bank. If we have accountants on the call, I think this is now your area. It debits the bank and then credits the member saving, which is liability to the Sacco. So all those journal entries are generated by the system. Once you approve and once you post this transaction, now the member account will be affected. So if I come back and I look at my member account here, one, you will see that this transaction has now been approved, as you see here. And also, if I go back to my account here, you can see that my member savings are now 2980. Somebody may ask, I deposited 3 million. Why is it 298? It is because the shares were deducted from your initial deposit. They take some amount. As a member, you can also view your savings statement. Right now, it is clean. I just have shares and then the contribution. The outs are displayed as in red are negatives and the ins in blue as that. And here I can see my balance. So that is the process of depositing. Once you deposit money, instead of calling Jude, you can initiate the deposit here, attach proof, and send it. Now, given that I have over 2.9 M, you can see that the system is telling me that I can apply. So I think we shall get the questions during the Q&A. Let me just go through this, and then you can just pack the questions. So the loans, I can see here that I have, I'm eligible to up to 5M because of my savings here. So once you log into the system, this will be changing based on your current savings. So if I come here to loans and I try to apply for a loan of 6 million, the system is intelligent enough to tell me that, oh, this shouldn't be there. This should be here, an amount. And I say I need this in 24. And I say this is maybe personal. I know people are taking children for school fees. Let me say school fees. So if I try to save, the system will, member type in member must have a value. Okay, now given that we have as something that determines which interest rate to use, one of the key things that Jude must update on the member is the member type. So I think had not updated this as an administrator, I can select whether I'm a general member or executive, because this determines the interest rate that I'll be using. Without that populated, then you cannot apply for your own, because the system will not know which rate to use. So after putting that, if I try to click save as a member, you can see that the system is telling me that I'm only eligible for 5 million, but I've requested for 6. So I will go back and say, let me put 5, but if remember, those 5 should be payable in 12. So if I leave 24 there, so the system will tell me that my loan tenor is up to 12 months. I've applied for 24. So all those checks are in the system. So I can either put maybe 5 here, I click save. Once I click save, I can see my loan calculator here. How will my loan be repaid? So I see 5M, then the different, you see the different repayment periods here, okay? And then when you finish this loan, this will be finished in July 3rd. Best given that I've applied it in February. So once you're okay with this, you can now go ahead and attach a standing order showing how you will be repaying this loan, because this will be needed as proof for this loan. And after that, I can send it for approval. In case I've sent it for error, I have a provision of canceling this request, make modifications, and then send it again. So Jude will get an email notification. Let me see whether my email notifications are coming. Yes, I'm seeing some, they are here coming. So this, I just configured my email address. So Jude or whoever will be set as an approver will be notified on email that there is a loan that requires the approval requested by, and then the amount in words. Once they see that, they will log in as an admin. So here I'm logged in as an admin. I'll say request to approve. And maybe just for testing purposes, let me first recall this loan, cancel. So in case I made an error, I have a provision of canceling, correct the error, and then send it again. Okay. So I just wanted to modify this date, but is uneditable. Let us just go with that. So if I refresh this, I will see my request here. I can click on view. This is Jude seeing this. They look at the loan. They also have a provision of seeing the loan calculator as the approvers. They can also see the standing order here. And once everything is okay, they can go ahead and approve the loan. Once they approve the loan, it creates journals. And once those journals are created by debiting the Sacco loan account and creating the bank, they can now post that transaction. And then they process that loan and pay that money to the member. So if I come back here as a member, I can see that I have a loan balance of 5M. And this is the 5 millions that I need to pay here. So if I look at my loan statement, I think it has also grown, and it has now 5 million that is here. So looking at my loan here, I can see that if I look at the loan, my first repayment period of this loan is actually, even if I don't look at the loan calculator now, the system has created for me the schedule. So I can see that my first repayment period is 3rd of March. So given that I want to replicate the process of repayment, we may not wait for 3rd March. So I'm going to just update the database such that this repayment period is today's date, so that we can see that practically. So this is not part of the presentation. So I just want to update the loan so that we can see the repayment period instead of waiting for August, rather for March. So I'm going to say for Maguva Emmanuel, don't worry, this is not part of the presentation, but I just want to update this. So I've just made it today's date, which is February. if I come back here, so this is February 3rd, which is today's date, but this was supposed to be March, but I just want to replicate this so that we can move on. So once this date comes, the repayment period, the system will notify Jude here on their profile that they have 2 loans that are due payment, okay? The system will notify Jude. Once Jude logs in, he will see that there are some loans that are due payment because that data has reached. And what Jude will do is he will just click on generate the payment journals. They come here, and then these are some of the payment journals. Let us only just focus on this. Okay, I'm supposed to pay 9 based on my schedule. So the system creates the journal entries. So they are 3. I have this, I have the one for interest, and I also have one for admin fees. And those are created based on this schedule. I have this interest, this, and then the 5,000 for admin fees. So once Jude now posts this, the system will now update those repayments. And now if I go back as a member, I can see that this first schedule was paid, and to update this as paid because I modified it to be today's date. And also if I look at my savings, when you remember very well, my savings were around 2 point something, given that I've not yet deposited money to my Sacco, all my loan repayments are taken from my savings. So when I put more savings, it means that I won't see the effect of the loan. But if I don't deposit money to my account, the loan will be eating up all my savings here. And if I click on my savings statement, I can see that I contributed 3, but now there is a running loan that took off these amounts, and now my balance is this. So that's how the loan repayments will be made. So to proceed with the loan top-ups, if you have a running loan, one thing you should notice that you cannot now apply for another loan. If I try to apply for another loan, let me still put school fees, the system will tell me that I cannot apply for another loan because I have an outstanding amount. But it will tell me that I can, however, apply for a loan top-up. So to apply for a loan top-up, of course, there are also other checks that we've made. You cannot apply, I don't know whether I'm eligible for a loan top-up, but let me try to apply for one. So if I put today's date, and I say that I need a top-up of 1 million, payable in 6. Of course, it will also add to my running loan. If I try to save, the system will tell me whether I'm eligible. So here it is telling me that I don't have savings, so I cannot have a top-up until I have more savings. I have a loan. My maximum loan limit is this, but I have an outstanding balance of 4. So I cannot get a top-up. So in case I need to get a top-up, the first thing is that I may need to increase my savings. So I'll just make another deposit here of maybe, say, again, 3 million. Save this. I'll go through this very fast. Send it for approval. Oh, it will require me to choose an attachment, a scan deposit slip, send it for approval. Then once I send, it will go this side. We've already gone through this process. I will just approve. Once I approve, it generates for me the journals, and once I post the badge, the member account will be updated. So if I look at the member account here, I've deposited more savings. If I look at my statement, I can see I have an extra 3 million here coming, and then this is making it 4.9. So if I now try to apply for maybe a top-up just for testing purposes, maybe for 1 million, okay. Put 6. So this top up will go through. Okay, this team is still complaining. My maximum top up is 996. It gets my maximum loan. It deducts the outstanding balance, and then it gives me how much I can get. So what we've done is that your savings somehow secure your loan. So the top up is really based on how you also pay your loan and your loan balance. So I can only get 9.6. So the system is intelligent enough to do that. So let me just put maybe 900 here as a top up. Then say 6, and then save this. Once I save this has gone through, so I can as well attach a schedule of how this top up will be paid. This should be in PDF, upload. I can look at my loan calculator, how it looks like. The loan calculator is this. So as you can see, my outstanding loan is 4. And then I have a top up amount of this, which now pushes this to 5. And this is now the schedule of how I'll pay my top up. So I can send this for approval. It will be the same process. Once email is sent, then Jude will go to request to approve. They approve. It generates the journal entries. They post these journal entries. They pay this money to the member. Once they pay, they post, so that now it also appears on the member statement. So if I go back here on the member statement and I look at my loan statement, I can see that I have 5, I paid this, and then I got a top up of that. So that is the top up. In case I get money and I need to pay off my loan, for example, I want to pay off 3 million, I can come here to pay off. I still initiate this. Maybe one thing before we do the top up, rather the payoff, is that each time you restructure your loan through a top up, a new schedule is created. So I can see now this is my new schedule. And then if I go back here and I look at this first loan I got, my old schedule, I only paid once, and other things on the schedule have been deleted, and now they've come to this new loan. Still on this loan, in case you need to have the loan agreement on file, you can also print it off. This is how it looks like. And the person who has approved, you can print this off. Now, I can now go through the payoffs. The payoffs are show me that I get money and I pay. So I can put the 3 million here. And then I specify the date, then save. Once I save, I send now this for approval. Of course, even the payoff, it assumes that you've already deposited the money on the account. We've gone through the process of depositing. So here, basically what you do is that once you pay off, still this payoff will take from the savings. It assumes that you've already made the savings, and we've gone through the process of making the savings. So if I pay off and I also look at my loan, there were only 2, now they've become 3, because now there's another restructured loan that has come up that will show me now a new schedule based on the payoff that I've made. So this is now the new schedule, and each month I'll be paying only these amounts for the remaining period. If I also look at the loan calculator, it will also show me my outstanding loan, because I've paid off 3M, and what my schedule is like for the next month. So the final thing is that I can withdraw, okay? And also one thing you should note, I have a running loan, so I cannot wake up one day and I say that I want to withdraw the entire amount. If I try 1.5, reason for withdrawal, I will still put school fees. The system is intelligent enough to tell me that I cannot withdraw my savings, because ideally what I have as savings is security for the loan, okay? But that is also the process of withdrawing. Right now, I'm not eligible. I need to make more savings for me to do the withdrawal. I save, send it for approval. Jude approves. And then once it approves, he pays, gives me my money, and then he also posts. So as all those transactions are being done, the saving statement here will be updated, okay? So I can see here, I did this 3M, then this was a loan payoff of 3. So once I've done that, the final thing is that I can, in case I want to leave the Sacco, I can put in a request of withdrawing. I specify whether I still have an active standing order. Okay, let me just use this that I used for For this, I put the date of this. Then I can also send this for approval to show me my current savings and the loan balance. I don't need to enter this. I can send it for approval. Once whoever will set up the approval will get an email notification. They can also print off this form showing the different details of the member who wants to leave the circle, and then they can do all the necessary processing. So all the requests will come through the self-service portal. Yeah, so basically, this is all what needs to be done on this portal. Other things on the admin side, we shall have more discussions with Jude on how to manage them. I know we have people here who are not administrators, so this may not be a good use of their time going through the admin side, but my main focus has been on this portal to show them basically what you do on the portal. So we have 10 minutes left. I will just open this for question and answer so that I can also hear from you people. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Emmanuel, very much. We'll now hear from the members who might have questions. I see the first hand is up. Just please unmute yourself and ask your question. Once for us. Please proceed.
Okay. Thank you, Edward and Adrian, for the beautiful presentation. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are. Please proceed.
Yes, so I saw the presentation regarding the deposit. In other words, you're depositing to the Sacco, and then there was something like a proof of deposit. I was just thinking, by the time I deposit to a Sacco, we have other channels, say the quick banking, where I have already deposited to the Sacco account through a funds transfer. Is there a way this system is there a sync between this system and our core banking system? I've had a lot of, I've not had much of the core banking or the core banking part and how the system interfaces with the core banking. All these schedules, how is the handshake made? I just need to appreciate this.
Okay, thank you. Should we hear all the questions or we respond to one that comes in?
I think respond to each at a time.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for that question. Now, one, the system is basically for bookkeeping, the bookkeeping for the Sacco. We've not done any integration with the core banking system. However, when someone deposits, instead of attaching the proof, of course, it is subject to your confirmation. We can tell the administrator to check on your core banking to verify that indeed that money has been deposited there, so that they can go on and approve the request and then update your member saving on the system. So basically, this system is mainly for bookkeeping. Then to do with schedules, Tom and Leonard shared with us the schedules in Excel that are basically done. So we configure the system to look to compute the schedules based on how you've been computing them. And we've had sessions with Jude where we got confirmation that indeed these schedules are the same. So the system also maintains the schedules, and it will tell the administrator on when they expect the money to come through. So still there is no linkage. These are still two independent systems.
Can I come in just to confirm my understanding? Maybe So this means that if you generate a schedule this side, which definitely tallies with a schedule that will be working within the core banking, if I ever default, there is no handshake, or there is no kind of, even if it is manual, there is no handshake between the system. It is majorly to ease the application process for the loan, right? But not to real-time have an inventory of the loan information for Royal Sacco. Could I be right if I understood it that way?
Okay, I've not understood the question very well, but the system is independent of the core banking. Yeah? There is no, if you default the other side, the system will not see that. But what the system will do, we've configured it to get the loan repayments from your savings. So it will be eating up your savings until you pay the money, the other side, so that your savings can again come up, as I've just demonstrated. So if you default, it will be okay. But if you have savings here in the books, the system will show you that it is eating up your loan, is your schedule, your running loan is eating up your savings until you deposit, because there are different checks to ensure that at least your savings are securing your loan.
Okay, so Mr. Edward, just the final one. If I go and deposit via another channel to the core banking and I don't update Royal Sacco, it means that this will affect my limit, because the power now here falls within the Royal Sacco application. However much I have money the other side, if I didn't come to update the Royal Sacco application, it means this system will not give me what I qualify for. So I think, as a point of emphasis, is once you deposit, then you need to come and complete this other leg, because that's where the power lies.
Very correct. You have to update this leg as you deposit, because the administrator also has a provision of updating the standing order, but that will be too late at the end of the month or what. But if you update it yourself and you send, and the system sends him an email notification, and your savings are deposited on your system, still you will now see your loan eligibility increasing on the system. That's very correct.
Okay, thanks a lot. Maybe if you get time, you can also speak into the future plan and the like, but that's it all from me. I have a clear understanding of the application now.
Yeah, thank you, Wenziporas, for those good questions. And like rightly, as you have said, there are considerations in the future to think of how we can integrate with the core banking, but that is something we're still thinking about on how to approach the bank about. Yeah, but that's part of our future plans. Thank you. Yes, Hope, please ask your question.
Thank you. I recently joined the Sacco and I've found that it's been easy from day one. And I feel like this presentation now requires me to do some work. Whenever I make a deposit, now I must come and do something in the system. If I do nothing, what will that mean? Like, I just like my life easy. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Hope. If you do nothing, we have the Sacco administrator who now has to go to the core banking to see what is happening there. But just to ease the process and maybe the time, for example, if you deposit money and your main thing is maybe to get a loan, so instead of waiting for the administrator to look at the statements and these standing orders and or the bank statement probably at the end of the month, or at the end of the week for you to be eligible for a given top up to ease the process. You have to do something to notify him by doing this. You look at your statement, and then that somehow quickens the process. And I believe, hope it is not really a lot of work for you. As I know, maybe given that this is the first time you are looking at the system, things may be a little bit hard, but trust me, as you interact with it, you'll find that these will be things that you can do maybe in 1 or 2 minutes, and then you are always up to date than waiting for the admin.
Emma, maybe just to interject, maybe just for you to clarify to the members that the monthly standing orders will continue to be updated in member accounts automatically as it has been, because we get a monthly schedule from the core banking which we use to update the member savings. So every time a standing order goes off a member's account, it's not that they'll have to come into the system and then update that confirmation. Maybe that's what Hope wanted to know. That it's not that every time they'll have to go in and update, my standing order has gone off, please update my statement. That will continue to happen automatically without member intervention. The only
Yes,
clarification member
thank you,
was, yeah,
Adrian. That's exactly what I was asking about. I just felt like it was giving me more work, but since you've
yeah,
clarified that, then yes, it's fine. Thank you.
yeah. All right, thanks, Hope. Um, Members, can we uh, add at least 10 more minutes, considering we started 10 minutes late, by show of thumbs up, those in agreement? Just 10 extra minutes. All right. Okay, thank you. I see Steph Rosa's hand is up. Steph Rosa, please proceed.
Thank you for the presentation. I might have missed it. Maybe you can clarify for me the part where, okay, I kept seeing, oh, we apply and what the approver does, but mostly it was skewed towards when they approve, this is what happens. When they say, okay, this is what happens, I would like some confirmation on if not approved, the system rejecting, and if rejection happens, how does the member get notified? And that informs my next question. Do you have plans to integrate to platforms like SMS so that we reduce the overhead of, admin has to call the user to tell them what's wrong with whatever they might be requesting for in the system? But at least if we have like an SMS platform that can now manage the communication, the back and forth, is that maybe in the future? But most importantly for me, what happens when the admin is saying no? How do I get informed? And also the reasons around the no. Thank you.
All right. So what happens? Maybe practical, I can try it out very quickly. So I'll just say, this is not per the standing order. This is just another normal deposit that I've made to the Sacco bank. So if I put a proof of that and then send it for approval. So as an admin, if I go to my request to approve, I see this. So the moment I click reject, okay, maybe we have not received this money on the Sacco account. So the moment I put rejection comment and I click reject, it will notify the person who sent this request through an email notification. And also on this system where you requested for that, still you'll be in position to see this has been rejected. And then you also see the comments here. You don't have money on the Sacco account and who rejected it. So the way it notifies, let me see whether the email has come through, is that, yes, So I just set up my emails here. Your contribution has been rejected. Reason, we don't have enough money on the Sacco account requested by you, and then the amount you had requested. So still the notifications go through using the emails. Yes, we can also have provisions for SMTP. Sorry, not SMTP, for SMS. Those provisions can be done so that these notifications can also go through the SMS. But that will also have a small cost implication. The reason why we resorted for emails is that emails for it is free, given that we're already using the internet. The system is already online.
Okay, thanks, Emmanuel. I saw Robert Boyer's hand was up earlier. Robert, you may ask your question. And then I also see another question in the chat. I will read it after Robert's question.
Adrian, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Emmanuel, someone in the chat was asking, in case I have a loan, but I get an emergency, say of 2 million, and I need money to pay for my school fees for my kids, do we have exceptions in such scenarios? Such top-ups may be paid in 3 months.
Okay, thank you, Adrian. What we did, the scenarios that we catered to on the system are those that were presented to us, and also the controls that the system are basically on what you currently do manually. So basically, you need to guide us on how you would want to treat that. And once we get that guidance from you, we can then have it configured on the system. So I will say that the current controls that you have, for example, you cannot top up best. The loan first looks at your outstanding balance, saving to then the loan to see how much you can get as a top up. So those are the different controls that we have in the system. So these other controls, you can just guide us and then we can see how we can implement them if required.
Okay, thanks, Emma. Maybe to just add, I am also doubtful that we can set exceptions in the system, but we'll discuss that as per the credit policy, because we embedded all the logic as per the existing credit policy, and so we'll just have to discuss as the executive on how to accommodate certain exceptions as per the credit policy, but we cannot tweak the system to accommodate exceptions. You're right about that. Okay, we have only 2 minutes to wrap up the call. If any other questions can be posted on the chat, and we shall be able to address them. Seprosa, ask one last question. Okay, so we can wrap up the call.
Yeah, sorry. A quick one, maybe for the future. I've seen other Saccos on board or allow for USSD. For example, I can go to, like, if we get a USSD code, actually the banking, I don't know whether it's a banking industry, wherever they get the USSD code from, I can just go to financial services and I can access the different Saccos. Do we have plans to enlist our Sacco there? So that, say I don't have access to the system, I can just go through that provision, maybe do the savings, but also make these other requests, withdraw, I can deposit, stuff like that. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Seprosa. Yeah, all those future plans are in consideration. This is just the beginning, but we have very very big plans for the Sacco, and all that you're mentioning has been discussed. So yes, the plans are there. Remember, without taking any more of your time, I will just request our chair lady, Joanita, to give us the closing remark. close the call. Okay, over to you, Joanny.
Hello, thank you, Adrian, and thank you everyone for attending this call. It is very critical that with the plans that we have for the Sacco, we have systems that are working. And I would urge everybody to try out the system and give us feedback before we finalize, because now we are almost ready to present it to the Sacco members for use. So if there's anything that you feel that we should add now, please get in touch with us. Adrian especially, he's the lead on this project, and we will do everything possible to accommodate whatever we can now. Thank you very much, and thank you to Emma and the project team for the effort that you have done, you've put into this project. That is all I have to say. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye. The call is adjourned. See your weekend.